As the lead yard supervisor at Evergreen Middle School, it is Sandy Papesh's job to keep the approximately 500 students under her care safe. And while that may mean occasionally blowing her whistle or strictly enforcing rules, at the end of the school day, she wants the students to know there is an adult who cares and is looking out for them.
I mean, people don't love yard because we're kind of like the bouncers. We're kind of like people who put that down, pick that up, don't touch her. You know, we do a lot of that because that's kind of our safety issue. But we're trying to mirror that out with, hey, how's it going? How'd you guys do in the basketball game yesterday? How are your grades looking? You know, and did you get new shoes? Just a way to engage and then wait for a response. And I think kids like it.
Yard in general is a difficult position to be a part of because the ultimate concern there is safety, but yet you also want to have students that are having fun and they just come out of the classroom where their brains are stretched, and maybe they're stretched because they have to work in a collaborative group where not everybody gets along. So the special piece about Yard is you have to come from a point of seeking to understand the variations of kids, number one, that you deal with. Number two, what kind of home they come from. And maybe something traumatic happened, or they had a fallout with a friend, or their animal died. So they always have to come from, you know, if this response that I got from a student, you know, where did it come from? How can I help? Wanting to constantly communicate and ask about what's going on. How's your day today? You excited about lunch? Is it pizza? I heard it's pizza. It's going to be awesome. And they have to have this commitment because they're dealing with so many different types of student reactions, and it's unpredictable from day to day, and I know sometimes that can get very wearing.
I guess you just have to kind of step out of yourself and think, okay, there's like 500 kids on this campus, and they're all having all these different experiences, and they're all coming to conform on one place at one time, and they're having to sit here for most of the day, and they need to be surrounded by people who care about them. I want to try to know as many kids personally as I can. Unfortunately, I don't not have a great memory, so a lot of the kids they're all my honeys or my sweeties, but I think if I can look at a child and see them as another adult talking to my child, what would I want the interaction to look like? I want it to be personal, I'd want it to be thoughtful, I'd want it to be involved, I want to say, how was your day? And then wait for a response, not, hey, how are you? And keep moving. I want it to be, you know, like, you're valued here.
Sandy brings the same care and concern she has for the students on the playground into the Learning Center, where she works with small groups of students on their reading and math.
And I have groups in the Learning Center, and I teach math, which is not my strongest subject, which actually works for me because I get to tell kids, look, this isn't even easy for me either, so we'll learn it together, and it works.
I think that broadens her experience of the students that she sees in the yard because it gives her maybe a greater understanding as to, you know, perhaps why some of the rules don't sink in when I tell you. Maybe there's something with processing, or not only do you have to give something verbally, but there needs to be a visual, you know, alongside. So the Learning Center, I think, gives her a greater understanding of the students that she sees out in the yard.
Sandy has 3 daughters who have gone through school at Evergreen, and that parental experience affects how she sees and interacts with the kids on the yard, even when it comes to dealing with difficult behavior.
With a lot of behavior with Mrs. Ross, we do preventative stuff. We have to react to situations. We have injuries, lots of drama, little disputes. Somebody is said this about me, and it takes some work to find all the parties that are involved in that and get down to it. I think the main reason I like that aspect of my job is I get to see the kids as a kid, and I think of my own kid. And if my own kid went up to a yard duty and said, he just called me a name, then that person is a caring, compassionate adult who says, okay, we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll figure it out. I like doing that part.
In all reality, she's just an overall loving, enjoyable, caring human being, and is willing to help out no matter what the task is in front of her, and that could even be before or after school. So we don't find employees like that too often, and I'm blessed that, you know, we work together.